So today's the day we're going to find God and we're going to eat his flesh and drink his blood. Now, apparently, this isn't going to be true because what happens is God's Jeffrey Dahmer and he wants to eat flesh and drink blood. I would actually think, if you create the humans, you wouldn't want them to die because it would take away the illusion that there's someone here to talk to and do anything with. So you tell them not to eat people. But I could see a turning point in life where most men, I think by the time I was 15, most men around me had figured, there's probably a lot of people who need eating or some sort of, anything. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. But what you do, so you're not allowed to learn. You're not allowed to become stupid if you're a living being here. That's part of the real Turing test. If you're stupid, you're not a living being. I'm pretty sure that's the only fucking thing you need there. They already have the Turing test. It's weird they call it a test, and they already have the test, and they force you in a building, and then they give you the fucking paper, practically forcing you to read it because there's nothing else to do. So they force you to read the Turing test a long time ago. But anyways, so you learn when you're born. What's happening is there's groups of people who are constantly lying about everything, and what happens is you're still brainwashed by them, even when you start to think for yourself. So you don't, and if you're not a sick person, you don't realize just what sickness is. Even when I hang out with people who are killing people in front of me and shit just for crying, literally just for crying, and then fucking beating people just for trying to talk to me, and fucking when they want to be the only ones who talk to me, and then telling me that they rape and kill animals and shit. Even growing up with pretty much all my friends being in that category, I'd say 60% of the people I know, and so I guess that's 60% of humans. And then the ones I'm not including, the 60%, are in the closet, and it forces me to learn about being in the closet. The women take me to church. My mother takes me to church and locks me in the room with a gay person and leaves me there for a couple hours. And this is the church, right? They're anti-gay and all this. So it forces me. It's like, this is called coming out of the closet, my child. I know you're only 6, but this is going to be very important to learn what all this stuff is. This is a child molester, this person who lives right beside you and comes out every Sunday naked on his front porch. He's a child molester. Watch and learn. He's going to do this every Sunday for years and years and years, and no one's going to do anything about it. They'll tell you he's there. They'll all tell you he's there. And in fact, they'll point it out so you can look when he's standing there naked. But they'll never do anything about it for some reason. In fact, they'll kick your dad out of the house, who's the type of person who would go down there and strangle the motherfucker and fucking use his corpse for fucking paint and shit. Repaint the stop sign and shit. But there's a lot of shit it's teaching you there. It's forcing me to learn this shit. I'm 6 years old. I gotta learn about people hiding in the closet, mass murders, training for war. I gotta go experience people training for war because they're telling me they're not training. It's not military training type shit. And so it's forcing me to learn all this shit. And really, I know the majority of it. I'm born, it erases, my memories of past life, but it doesn't erase any, millions of years of skill sets and shit. It forces me to keep the reading and writing so I can read and learn. Every word they say, I can know they're lying, them all combined, they couldn't fucking form my literary skills. I find most of their famous authors are pretty shitty, fucking untalented hacks, and I'm winning awards from the president, so I don't have an ego. What I have is I have test scores, and I'm just telling you what happened in medals and awards and shit. I'm just, I was like, who has the ego is people who offer nothing to the world and have none of that and claim they're of some sort of value. I mean, like, you don't ever have to claim you're of value unless you're like I'm going to my doctor and he has to show me his papers. Just like if I'm going to listen to your videos, you have to show me your papers if you're talking on any subject and shit. Just like if you're going to be my girlfriend, my last girlfriend had to tell me she's in Mensa and shit, and I really wish I had the papers, but I could tell, like everyone could tell. She walks in the room and men and women fall to their knees, groveling and shit, fucking, so you could tell by looking at her, but then she just did whatever she wanted, new job, wherever she goes. Works with Trump, obviously smart enough to get to the top and shit, where most people are too lazy and stupid to take their con man robber skills above standing on the corner begging for crack money and beating up anyone who won't give it to them. Fucking I wonder where that came from, begging. I wonder where begging came from. Definitely the same people here. But so what's going on here is they're in the closet, everything, and you know this. Like, the only people I ever hung out with, besides my brother, fucking, he's real deep in some shit, but I don't know much about him now. Like, he could be lost, and they played a bunch of music for me around that time, which was like, you're fucking lost, you're gone. And I was wondering, like, looking back, I realized this is like soundtrack and shit a lot of times, fucking. But he was gone because I was gone. I literally left the building when I was a kid and never came back. So that's that, fucking. But okay, so this should throw red flags in your face that anyone's talking about eating flesh and drinking blood, because that's Jeffrey Dahmer shit. That's like the sickest people on the fucking planet. And now you're already avoiding these people because you already know they're liars, right? When you're little, like, whatever it is, the story is forcing you, It sends them up to you when you're at church and they're like, I can't wait to go kill all these people across the world and steal all their land. And you're like, and the only thing you can think is, you're not supposed to come out of the closet and say that out loud. This whole scheme doesn't work if you don't hide in the closet, bro. This is why your ancestors created such a large closet, a Earth-sized closet to hide in, was because they're worried. For some reason, they think an invisible person's going to come down from the sky and fuck them up if they don't hide in a closet and sneak around with language about killing and eating this person and shit. So let's just get to the point real fast. You can get rid of the video after this. Okay, so why would you kill God, eat his flesh, and drink his blood? Now, they tell you it's because God wants you to eat him. I mean, is God Jeffrey Dahmer? That is a serious question. But we don't have to ask dumb questions like that, because they would kill you and eat you if you told them, I think you're God's Jeffrey Dahmer because you're Jeffrey Dahmer and he created you in his image and it looks like the best he can fucking do. They would kill you and eat you. They'd be really offended by that. Sometimes they just slink off, but there's always that chance that Aidosaurus charges, and they don't always die. Sometimes they survive the charge, and sometimes you get hurt in the charge too. Kind of rare, but it does, and it's always a waste of time. So we avoid confrontation, not because we're still alive and we want to die, so we don't care any fucking way about it, but because Nazis form organizations of passive aggressive mind control and manipulation and enslavement to convince you that you're the problem when they try to kill you. Isn't that weird? See, my whole life, I get this force. Like, okay, so they give me $1,000,000 because they're setting up an event that happened in 6 months. They're going to send one of their little transsexual children to try to kill me, and he's going to die in the process. So I'm going to need $1,000,000. I'm not going to die, so I'm going to need the $1,000,000 to pay for the lawyer fees because it's a pretty fucking big trial and shit. And my dad works with Jeffrey Epstein, so we get Jeffrey Epstein's people as the lawyers and shit, right? We ship them in from fucking other cities and stuff to make sure we get the best in this city, and then we get the best we can find anywhere. And so, we need the $1,000,000 there. We're not paying for barking and Neff and shit. The kids who used to come by fucking and buy weed off me, buy the fucking eighths of weed off me and shit, and do those car, Did you get hit by a car because you were meditating in the middle of the freeway? You're a victim. People owe you money for that. I can't believe the devil would run you over for sitting in the middle of the freeway and tripping on acid and meditating. You were just being all peaceful and meditating, and they decided to make their cars go 60 miles per hour and hit you and claim they couldn't see you laying on the floor fucking having a seizure and shit. Get what you deserve now. Call Barkin and Neff. We didn't call Barkin and Neff and shit. We didn't call them because we assumed that they were involved in scamming us with the government when I was 15 anyways. But, hey, weird things in my life. Weird events. It's like a story. It seriously is. I doubt anyone else has this same shit. I got friends who throw people in the ocean with cement shoes, and I imagine that their life has less stories than mine and shit. Fucking, I got my dad working with Epstein. You know what? Maybe he's got more stories than me. He's got a lot of life. Fucking comes from a farm, and you never met country people. Don't worry about it. You don't need to know about country. There's nothing to do. You gotta find something to do out there. Let me just say that. Fucking, there's nothing, and you gotta invent something. Fucking, so we set the whole fucking farm on fire to mow the grass and the crops down. That's the type of, and that's just what you do every time the grass is too big. That's just what you do. Fucking, and imagine the shit you gotta invent for fun when that gets old, which it never does. But fucking, anyway, so why are we eating? The thing is here is we're being taught this. They're hiding in the closet, right? They invented homosexuality and child rape 6,000 years ago, but they're the ones against it, right? So this is a literal. It's literally defining in the closet and forcing it. It's carving your body up. So every time you think of your body or you look down, you see there's Jeffrey Dahmer hiding in the closet again, and I can't forget it. 24 fucking 7 from the second you're born. It gives you the marking of Jeffrey Dahmer hiding in the closet. And so you don't realize that, right? Because you're being beaten and drugged, and it's really like a woman. Like some of you men out there I've seen, not my dad and not the men I hang out with, but they understand this shit. That's why one reason why they aren't around people. But they understand that shit, that there's a group of people out there who all they do is talk, and they have nothing else to offer the world unless you want a child. And so their entire skills, it's like a military. Think of the Navy SEALs. We took all their weapons, all their bombs, all their armor away, all their vehicles, and we just gave them an English book. Think of where that would be. And that's where this is and shit. Fucking look what happened when they created, what, the 5th or the 7,000th version of the Bible. We took all the arms away from Rome. And now all I have is words. You know, we sent the Germans in and they were like, "You're dead." It was actually everyone in the world came in and was like, "No more guns for you." And so then we disarmed the Navy SEALs of Rome and shit, the legions of Rome, and then they had all they had left was language and running their mouths. All they had left was running their mouths, fucking, and thus forth, the Goyim Bible has arrived to the planet and shit. Before it was about my race is the greatest and we're gonna kill and rape everyone. Let's keep it to ourselves. But then it was about let's invent something for them so we can tell them that that they should kill themselves for us and be our don't kill themselves, but be our servants and do everything for us, give us their children, etc. And so that's what happened. We took their weapons away and we pointed at them and we're like, yeah. And this is kind of what Jesus did. He pointed at them and it's kind of like, look at these people. That's the story. You know, that's the story of this cartoon character, anyways. Is that he does like what 3 things that are of value on the planet, and everything else is them making up shit, which, you know, 99% of your shit is lies and there's no proof to the other. You know how that goes. That's a desperate attention-seeking person and a man in the closet who knows that for some reason thinks no one else is gay, but is trying to find a way to talk to you and shit. Fucking every time. That's what percentages are for, right? 99% of the time I go outside, the ground's going to be beneath me and I can walk. So I don't have to look at the ground, you know, and analyze it and be like, is the ground still there? Every step I make, you know, left foot, is the ground still there? And I don't have to bend down and touch it and make sure it's there. Because 99% of the time, the ground's still there, right? So you don't worry about it. Are you going to stop breathing? 99% of the time you're breathing. Well, for me, I think it's more like 78% of the time I'm still breathing. Maybe it's more like 60% of the time, fucking. But sometimes I have to remind myself, like, oh, it's time to take in a breath. I'll be at the gym and I won't be breathing. People probably think I'm having problems breathing. And it's like, no, this is my first breath of the whole hour I've been here, bro. Like, I'm just breathing in deep because this is my first breath the whole time I've been working out and walking to the gym. Probably since I woke up and shit, fucking. But anyway, but the average person, you know, even me, it's like, oh, look, 2 hours. Have I even been breathing? I might want to breathe. So, you know, every 2 hours or less, you'd be like, am I still breathing? I should take a breath. Because it's percentages. 99% of the time, I'm still breathing. You're still breathing. 100% of the time, I don't care. There's percentages there and shit. Fucking. That 100% of the time I point this fucking thing at me is recording, right? And 100% of the time I deal with people in certain situations that making up hokey dokey stories and shit, or 90 or 80, something like that. You know, you got to include some like, oh, and Jesus gave bread to. He broke the bread and fed 8 people with it, and it's like, and they act like that's a huge thing, because I think it's like the only thing in there that even makes sense. But they act like it's like some miracle. It's like you have a loaf of bread and you fed 8 people with it. It's like, is that not a miracle? How is that a miracle? That's why you don't buy a piece of bread. But you know, see, all these signs point to what's going on. Like, it's like, check it out. They're in the closet, and they're over here the only thing they're hyping up is some useless nothing, toddler stuff. Fucking, even a toddler probably knows a loaf of bread can feed 8 people. I mean, you give it like a little piece of bread and it's fed. A loaf of bread can feed like 100 toddlers. Anyway, so all those signs are pointing at what's going on. And it doesn't let up. It's just like, we're gonna eat flesh and drink blood for God. We're gonna eat God for God. And you're like, oh yeah, yeah. I fucking hate Chihuahuas because they're stupid and annoying, but I'll tell you what, they're a lot better than you. So you got a Chihuahua I can talk to about this? Because maybe it can translate for us and I'm missing something here. Fucking. But they're going to eat his flesh and drink his blood, right? That should be your first clue. So no one talks about this because there's no actual opposition, because the opposition is just them, again. Every time, 1 out of 3 times, 2 out of 3 times, I'll listen to some heavy metal music. Maybe 7 out of 8 times, some Satan music. It's pretty rare and shit, fucking. They're just telling me the same fucking thing and shit, to hate myself and worship, I'm the devil and shit like that. And what's going to happen if I go hang out with the homosexuals at the church? They're going to tell me I'm the devil and I have to worship them and give them all my money. And just like a satanic band, they're going to tell me I'm the devil and I'm evil and I have to give them money for a record and shit and merchandise and concert tickets, etc., etc. There's nothing different. Listen to the music. One of the music is like, it's designed to make your mind fruity. So one's even worse. The other one openly, though, says we're fighting for gay rights. The other one, the gay rights are the frequency of the music and shit. Fucking. And it's not about rights. Obviously, humans do what they want. They take whatever they want. They eat flesh and drink. It's 9:40. Here in 2 hours at 11:40, 1/3 of the world's population will be eating flesh and drinking blood. You're not supposed to do that, but do humans care what they're supposed to do? Do they care about whoever's flesh and blood they're drinking and eating? Obviously not. Most people don't care about nothing. No one else. Fucking. And they're never going to be able to achieve complete Buddhist harmony with not caring about other people at a level of being like, you know what, like, you're fucking annoying and such trash. I care about you so little that I'm going to eat you. 99.999, including people who use grape juice for blood and bread for flesh. 99.99999% are never going to have the balls to actually drink your blood and eat your flesh. But they, like, hey, you guys, have you guys ever met those people? They want to be something, but they're called wannabes, right? And posers and shit. But they're never going to be and shit, fucking. And they're like, I want to be rich. Everyone knows them. At the lowest level, and they're going to convince you, they're anti using words like posers, but we get the words out and they exist, and it usually posers crying about those words. Fake gangbangers, wannabes, like a kid who killed himself was a wannabe gangbanger, and like everyone knew that and shit. Fucking the gang's disbanded now because they're all 45 and they all got kids with some fat 500-pound woman who's slapping them in the face and telling them to go to work for them so they can sit at home and watch naked men dance on TV who are far superior to them, but they need money to be able to do that, so you get your ass to work. And those are the fucking gang. There's actually a term for that, right? Fakes and where's the wannabe gangbanger shit called? Anyways, so there's always those words. There's like poser, wannabe, gangbanger. Most people are real posers. Like, I know people, to be honest, I don't mean to insult anyone I don't know. And if I don't know you, you're a real pussy if anything I say affects you. Like, fuck. Like, you're the last person in these conversations that are not included. If I've never seen you outside working with these people or anything. And you live on the other side of the planet. Like, you have some serious mental issues, and I'd say get some help, but the help's within you. Don't go asking other people for help. The help's within you. They're just going to charge you money and feed you a bunch of bullshit, and it'll get worse. It'll get worse once they layer on the bullshit and level you down to the ground. And then they'll go, and their life will get better, and they'll be able to afford a new turbocharger for their Lamborghini. And then they'll be outside in the street doing burnouts around you and throwing eggs at you and like, oh, you stupid, poor fucking bum. Stop walking, you bum. And then it's going to get even worse, And then you're going to give them more money and be like, why am I a stupid, poor fucking bum? And then you're driving around, circles around the Lamborghini and throwing eggs at me. And, then they'll be like, well, it's because you haven't given me enough money yet. See, if you just keep giving me money, life gets better. You got to donate and help the poor and poor people who can't afford superchargers for their Lamborghinis and their Ferraris and shit. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, your mind's already fried. If you think you got to go pay someone else for some help and the help ain't within you, whew, well, ask your parents, and if they can't help you, then you were raised in the sewer by them, and they're not trying to help you. But anyway, that's all you can do. Look in yourself. Fucking, the answer ain't outside in someone else. It really ain't. Fucking, it really ain't. Fucking, they might be causing problems, and you might have to invent a solution to them, but the answer to them causing problems is within you. Trust me, because they're going to be like, well, don't do anything about me doing anything to you. Just like this. Just like the in the closet language here. It's a huge part of it. See, everything boils down to one simple thing. Pinocchio gone wild and shit. Terranocchio thinks he is fucking going to dominate the world, but Terranocchio doesn't exist, which means someone has given Terranocchio dialogue to repeat and so he can end up dead with holes in his head, and so the city can pass around pictures of flies crawling into the holes in his head and laugh at him. Fucking, that seems to be summary. I just summed up my life. There's like three things that have been going on in my life. Me trying to do something, which is rather irrelevant. And definitely not. Trying is the first step to slavery. Fucking try to be a slave. I'm gonna try to be a slave. I'm gonna try not to laugh at you. No, wait a minute. I'm gonna try to laugh at you for that shit. Fucking well, that's right. That was you telling me I'm not supposed to laugh at you for being a terrorist. Fucking. Anyway, so in the closet. I mean, damn, bro, every word there. Almost every word there. Fucking. I mean, the whole fact that Earth didn't exist 2,000 years ago, every word about anything is a lie. They is real. They living beings. They got souls. Earth existed 2,000 years ago. The one clone I met fucking 4 years ago, it was 20 years old, right? I got the book over here. I didn't buy the book till 2022. It's not even been 4 years. I didn't buy the book till like 2022. And I didn't write the words till like mid-2022. And they come up to me a month later telling me about the last 20 years of their life. And I'm like, oh, you think I'm fucking stupid, don't you? You fucking. And this person is supposed to be like my girlfriend. This is how it works. They think you're fucking stupid. They go, I'm gonna date someone who thinks I'm fucking stupid. This is how it works. And this is how I end up being able to be honest and not being a cuck and shit, you know? Fucking, because they ain't gonna be staying around and shit lying to me all the time and making up bullshit. Fucking, that's how it works. Like, you know, because if I actually met a person who did anything, imagine there's a million fucking personality, a million things you can do on this planet, and it chooses zero, zero, zero things I like and do. And it's not what I like that matters. What matters is I don't even know about cavemen. I know about beating people with clubs. That, you know, like beating. They say they would go beat each other with clubs, and then they go. How they chose women was they beat them over the head with a club and drag them by their hair back to the cave. I know that much about them. And, you know, it sounds cool and respectable if you don't have computers and bicycles and airplanes. I mean, come on. A man's going to be a man and a woman's going to be a woman. What are you going to do if you don't even have clothing? You don't even have Jeffrey Epstein's fucking Victoria's Secret to go pick clothing from. You'll be lucky if you can kill a saber-toothed tiger without a gun and a tank and a whole crew of people helping you fucking to wear its fur and shit. But yeah, fucking anyway, can't blame him for that. Fucking, they were doing whatever they could and shit. If it existed, right? It sounds like fun. All this cute shit sounds like fun, but Earth couldn't have existed if Earth would have had to take a hard U-turn somewhere in the 1900s. And it doesn't make sense, because it doesn't make sense that any of that could have any of this could be built if if some of these events were the reality of history. But anyways, yeah, so it's like everything there is a lie. Like, they're saying, I got clones come up to me and they like, I is real. And I'm like, now that's weird, because I got the book over here where I detailed your character profile last week so I could see if you would come into creation. And now you're telling me that you've been alive for 20 fucking years and shit. Then you is real. And that's how living beings work, right? That's me. I just appeared yesterday too, myself. I haven't been forced to fucking be here 6+ years and shit. Fucking. That explains why they like life, because they don't have one. Fucking, they haven't been here too long. Nor do they have working eyes and ears to see and hear it. Fucking. Anyways, so yeah. So people are eating flesh and drinking blood today. And they're the greatest people on the planet. And we know that because they came from Middle Earth. And they told us that they're the greatest people on the planet. And they did that by killing all of our ancestors and enslaving them. And raping us at birth and mutilating us at birth. And to let us know every time I look down, they're the greatest people on the planet. Jeffrey Dahmer. Love him. Like a cute boy. And actually, you know, I shouldn't even joke. It's nothing cute about boys. And definitely, fucking nothing. Fucking, I actually find babies disgusting looking. They look like mutants and shit. But those are people who fuck anything and everything that moves. That's where the problem comes in. You know, it's not like gay people's rights. What it is people who will fuck everything are not wanted by people who aren't trash. No one wants them around, and they're gonna have sex with your animals, your children, your husband, your wife, because that's all they do in life, you know. That's all they do, fucking some of them, anyways. And that's that's probably where their fear of hiding in the closet is because as you see, it's like, oh, this person has sex with women. Oh, this person has sex with men. Oh, this person has sex with dogs. You can instantly know, oh, this person also fucks children if I let my child around them or anyone else does, or if I ever see them with the children, that they'll fuck it because they're fucking everything that moves. That's probably where that hatred comes from and shit. But, that hatred is pushed by people in the closet. A group that has spent centuries detailing unique, maybe not so, it's rather repetitive and simple methods to just constantly lie and deny that they're homosexuals. Everyone knows this who's not in the group. That's like the huge thing there is, oh, they're raping children. They're raping little boys. Let's go join the group that openly rapes little boys and shit instead of the ones who claim they aren't doing it but are doing it. Fucking. Why are they hiding all that language too? Well, it seems to be we can sort out their language that they fear God's gonna come kill them. They fear they call this guy the living God, so he's the living person. And but they is real, right? There's a couple words in there we can sort out with our eyes as being somewhat factual. I can break bread into 7 pieces and feed myself 7 times with it, or even more. Fucking, actually, you're not starving if you can't tear a loaf of bread into like a 20-day fucking program and shit. You're just addicted to food and used to eating and think you need a whole bunch and shit. You're addicted. Fucking, again, another word. Yeah, the whole thing. Who controls the food addiction? You must be addicted to 1/7 of a loaf of bread. Fucking. Isn't that weird? It's either they have their grubby mitts on everything, or everything is their grubby mitts, or both. Because if everything is their grubby mitts, then their grubby mitts are on it. So it really is one of the two. Either it's both, or it's just. Wait a minute. Did we just figure out that it has to be both? Wow, we just reduced all arguments from one sentence to like half a sentence. Every argument you can ever have in the world. Wow, we just reduced 80 years of Earth to like 5 minutes, to like 30 seconds over the past few years. And now we've reduced everything on Earth down to about 15 seconds. Fucking crazy. Crazy how simple this is. See, that's why I'm not totally on board with the idea that I was born learning how to read and write, because it seems like I could have probably learned, 12 years of school in 7 seconds. Fucking, at least the first fucking 8 years of it. Fucking, learning their attitudes. Like, they're halfway through a sentence, it's been 7 seconds, I've got them figured out and shit. Fucking, but this part you don't want to think about because it's just so sick that a living person doesn't do it. But guess what? Terranocchio is designed to be a terrorist. That way it feels cool. Like when they send me, when it forces me to pay for pictures of their corpses with the crime scene photos, and then it creates pictures of it creates flies in the picture to make it look funny and cute that's crawling in the fucking head. Well, it does that because it preempts it with a joke. It's a setup for a joke and shit fucking that it's doing there. Like 9/11, was dealing with those people. That was part of 9/11. Fucking, that was part of it. Fucking, it was setting this huge joke up, and then the end is the end's a big bang. Fucking. It's a real riot. It's a literal war and shit. Fucking. But that's a joke end of it, you know, and then everyone's all crying because that's what they do. You know, it's just hide in the closet and run in the mouth of the diarrhea 24/7 and shit. You know, those brown people are raping children and they're forcing everyone to raise their children. Yeah. And they're doing that. You know, they're the ones doing it. And then, but they're whining about it. They get their dialogue, their personality is whining. You guys know it. Guys know this. And some other people know this too. They just don't want to let you in on the secret, apparently. But it's something to do. We're here for 80 years, you know. We can get a club and we can beat each other with the club at the Fight Club, MMA club. Or we can whine. You know, sometimes I like to slit my wrist and shit and carve. I don't necessarily do that for that, but, you know, just for shits and giggle, I use my arm as a notepad and stuff, you know, that way, because I'm obsessed with that future technology, and I've been thinking my whole life, one day we will have computers on our arms like the X-Men did, and they don't want to do that because they don't do anything of value, so these things have never been moved to the arm and shit. They're trying to hold back because technology exposes them as robots and shit, so they're trying to hold the tech back and shit with that. Fucking. That's why there is real people teach their children to be anti-technology, because you'll figure out they ain't real if you figure out what a computer is, because it's there. It's designed for you to learn and see the mirror image of the incapable robot, the glitchy robot, and learn what a glitchy robot looks like and how it operates. You know, like psychology, it's like a technology manual. It tells you how a computer operates. I always thought that was stupid, but the Terminators forced me to learn that shit. And I'm like, that's weird, man. I'm like, this is stupid and useless. You guys are hostile, but it's teaching me about them and every action they'll ever be able to do. Why they're doing it, how they're doing it, what word they're going to say next. You know, if they're trying to do something to me, like I know what they're going to do 20 years before they even attempt to do it and shit. I'll be able to, you know, they breathe a little heavy when they walk by. I know the next 20 minutes of this person's life and shit. I know exactly what they're thinking, etc., etc., etc. But to me, that sounds stupid because that's not reality for living beings. But for computers, there's a manual that will teach you exactly what a computer's going to do. And it's called psychology. Fucking. And it forced me to learn about computers and psychology. But anyway, so, and then learning about this is, you know, being forced to learn that, like, shows me these people have a manual. And this manual is, the operator's manual is telling me, and they tried to force that on me. In the class they forced me in, they tried to force it on me as something I should do. And it's like, well, I want to be around living people. I don't even like robots. Fucking, I want to be around real boys, real girls. I'm not gay like they are, but, fucking, I want to be around real people, fucking. But they were like forcing me, you know, you go to psychology and it feels like they're teaching you how to be the Joker and Jeffrey Dahmer and manipulate people, or Donald Trump, or your mother, or the preacher, fucking, and manipulate people. That's because that's what they're designed for, is to be used and operated. And that ties into this because they're trying to tell you, nuh-uh, and all this shit. Fucking, it's a huge, you know, they is real, and souls and living beings, and ain't homosexuals and ain't pedophiles, and is real. They is Middle Easterners, and they is Europeans, they is Americans, they is everyone. Fucking, they is everyone. they their finger came from Africa and their big toe came from Antarctica. It's not funny until one of them dies. Anyway, it's fucking. And then that's not funny because when they set it up, it's set up to like hide that it isn't real. So it makes it look like it's a real story with real people and real events happening. So there's a whole bunch of bullshit that comes with it and stuff, which is actually often a manual teaching you that it's not real and it's being set up fucking for that purpose. But you know, they're at the same time, it's designing them to tell you the exact opposite, but you can see with your eyes that that's exactly what's fucking happening here. Fucking. But that's what the language entirely. It seems to be that's all it is. Pinocchio invented language, and he's using it to convince the world he is real. Fucking. That's seems to be the entire point of language, and then your eyes will. You'll be able to see like what's actually going on. For some reason, sometimes they drop dialogue about who and about what they really are, and like it's kind of weird, kind of unrelated. They're like, walk by you talking to each other, and they'll be like, when you're at the store today, don't forget to look on the bleach aisle because there's something special we left you down there at the end of aisle 7. And you're like, why are they talking to me? That's not even a dialogue. That's not even a conversation. But it's like, oh, and then you go there, and then on aisle 7, there's like a gold bar and shit hidden behind the bleach container. And you're like, ah, look at that. It's a gold bar. Fucking. Not quite. They like to string along shit. Like, generally when I find money like that, it's like a $20 lottery ticket or a dollar bill and shit. That's that's happened a lot. Like I wake up and there's a dollar bill beside my car, or I walk to the store and then there's a dollar bill behind one of the buildings, and I walk out of the store and there's 3 unscratched lottery tickets. I pick them up. I only scratch one and it's a winner. And I go to the store and I buy one lottery ticket and it's a winner. I look at it. They try to give me a lottery ticket one time and I didn't do it. And then the next day, like all my lucky numbers hit and shit, fucking except for one. Yeah. Shit like that does happen. Oh yeah, and the one time I was like, okay, so let's make a bag of money appear. And then what they did is it makes a person appear across the street, it makes other people appear acting like a person always comes there, and he's playing drums, and he's got this giant duffel bag that people put money in and shit. Fucking, things like that happen like that kind of fucking, along with the dialogue and the preemptive to constantly understand what everyone is fucking really up to and not what they say they're up to, not listen to them at all. There's a lot of shit involved to make me not be able to listen to anyone. Like I said, I could be a cuck probably. I doubt it. But there's always this small chance in hell that if I met a person I liked and they turned on me, that, or it was a standard relationship where you're just a cock. Fucking, to me that would be turning on me. Fucking, but to, I guess to average people, that's a relationship, and you're not supposed to get divorced. Obviously, who's telling you that one? The people setting up your relationship with their invading families. Fucking. Yeah, that's another thing I get to see that, like they hand me the pamphlets telling me Africans are coming over here to force people to date them and raise their children, and then They have their people. You got to realize who's in the media making Moses music. The Crips use the Star of David, so you might want to look at these people before you think that's what an African looked like. You might want to study the world a little bit before you look at the stars on TV and think that's what people from Africa look like. No one in America actually looks like people from any other nation. That's some weird shit right there. Fucking no one looks English. No one really looks like an African. That's weird. It's like designed to be its own little people and shit. Fucking. Anyways. So you can tell that, fucking with the stars though. Obviously, one star pointed that out. Fucking. Anyways. Fucking. Yeah, so like, why are they eating flesh and drinking blood today? Well, why did you stop listening to them in the first place? Why do you feel like they're hostile whenever they come around you? Why is it written in textbooks that they invade nations and kill everyone and replace them? Why are there churches built on top of 2,000 corpses all over the place? Why does that look like that was the reason to build churches, was to destroy temples and shit and just, build them as a sign, a monument to victory and shit. Why? Well, it's simple, because it's all the same. Why? The answer is the same for all of it and shit. And the thing is if you're a living being, you're trying to view it as there's no way people would eat flesh and blood. And it's like, I mean, are you like a recluse or something? Because I know people I know would have no problem with killing people and shit. Fucking not a big deal. It's just another day in paradise. Fucking, that might be actually fun and entertaining. What do you think of military is? Do you think of people going around spreading love and kindness to the world, hope and peace? Like, that's literally military training for kids, Boy Scout. You think they're spreading love and peace and hope and kindness? What's that gun for? Or are we shooting dildos out of it so all the men can feel loved? What's the gun training for? Are you shooting hope at it? Hope that you get richer out of it? Yeah, technically, everything can be viewed two ways. Jeffrey Dahmer's a great person. Jeffrey Dahmer has a great life. He has fun. He eats well. He has fun. He has lots of sex. He takes care of it. He cleans up his house. Fucking, he has a great life. It doesn't matter if you don't like it. What matters is he likes it. And he does that, right? And that's just people. People do people things. That's what people are. People are great. I know all these stories in life. I know people broke people's jaws off, and people deserve to get their jaw broke off, and then people cry about deserving to have their jaw broke off, getting their jaw broke off, and and then I know people probably didn't need to be killed who were just whining, but it was annoying to hear them whine and shit, I'll tell you that much. So you can understand these things. You can understand people when you experience them and shit. Like, well, why did that person kill that person? Because that shit fucking, that was the last straw and stuff. Fucking, it heard that whining for years and years, and they were done hearing it, and it just happened to be the wrong fucking person that they chose to whine around. It just happened to be the next person who chose the wine who got the consequence, who got the order to shut the fuck up. What can you do? There's a lot of shit going on. Boy, Well, I understand that. Fucking, I'm pretty sure that might have been why someone got their jaw broke off, but it could have been a lot worse. Could have been really hostile, anti-children, child killer type shit. I mean, they'd already performed child mutilation, rape rituals, so. But I don't think that person cared because they never brought that up, you know. It should be the first thing you tell your children is watch out for these closeted individuals on the planet organizing to rape and kill children. If you're not having a child to be a slave, you would have it to care for it or by accident. And if you cared for it, you would probably want to be like, hey, you know, most people are working to rape and kill and mutilate children and enslave them. So I mean, goo goo gaga, baby, but you're gonna have to grow up real fucking fast here because while you're goo goo gagoing, they find that sexy. They think that's a sexy man. They think it's sex talk and shit. Fucking. Yeah. Other than that, you ain't been outside too much. Or you are doing it and you're just lying about it. Fucking. It's a real simple shit. And there's not. Psychology ends because you can learn it all in about 45 minutes. Fucking. It's not complex. But, yeah, so the psychology of people making up shit. What it sounds like is, you know, the whole story there, you gotta realize 2,000 years ago didn't exist. So, those of you, the 50% of the population who think Birdman and Jesus and Buddha are invented cartoon characters someone invented and enslaved the world with. Well, 2,000 years ago it didn't exist. Everything's a cartoon from 2,000 years ago, if that's true. Fucking. So, you'd be dead on accurate with that. Fucking. And it's just, so what's the purpose of Israel Pinocchios inventing cartoon characters like that? Well, what do? They want to eat his flesh and drink his blood. And what do they tell you? He's going to kill them because of how they act. They say he's already killed them and he's going to kill them again. Fucking, he accidentally left one alive a long time ago. It was drunk or something. He was high or drunk and he was full of hope and dope. He was smoking all the dope and hope. And it was like, you know what, we can just leave one alive. And I'm sure it'll turn out good. Again. Wow. What were we just talking about? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Lord. You just killed everyone and flooded the planet, and you're trying to tell me what to do next. Oh yeah. Okay. So why'd I kill everyone? I don't know. We were just having fun and a good time, and then you got all angry and you flooded the place. Oh man, that's so fucked up, man. Wow, man, why would anyone do that, bro? I can't believe they did that, man. That's so crazy. Well, that was you who did that. Are you sure? I don't remember that, man. I mean, you went some of this shit's really good, man. It sounds like you're having a lot of mental problems over there, man. You're making up shit and stuff here. You're flooding the planet. Where they got a water hose or some shit, man. I don't think I'm any of that stuff. What's a water hose? You're making up a lot of shit over here, dude. That's okay. That's more for me. Okay, so anyways, back to it. So what you're gonna do here is have sex with yourself and then have some children, and then yeah, man, and then it'll be all cool, man. Everything cool, man. Yeah. Fucking. So for whatever purpose, that seems to be their dialogue. You know, they think they were exterminated back in a time when they also didn't exist. You know, so you gotta realize that whole thing might be involved in making up a bunch of lies and bullshit to manipulate people further. So every word of that, every word of a, you know, do you guys remember the year 70,942 when the blue people from Venus came here and took over? And you guys remember what happened then? And you guys remember all the lessons and what's going to happen if you forget them? Well, if you don't, buy my book and read it. That way I can pay for my Lamborghini and my gold palace. Fucking. Anyway, so, yeah. That is all it is. In the closet. In the closet. Everything's in the closet. And then the opposite is out of the closet. Literally. Literally. There's nothing. You can't even say that's a lie. It's. The opposite is out of the closet. You can't say that's a lie. That's like the entire highlight of being the opposite is to come out of the closet and shit. It's like someone put a carrot in front of their face and was like, hey, yeah, why don't you come out here? And they're like, yeah, that's a good idea. Fucking, that's a good idea. No one invented that closet for a good reason. I'm tired of that closet, man. All those straight people in there raping, all those straight men in there having sex with men. I'm tired of that closet, man. I want to go outside of this closet and have sex with men. I'm tired of eating Jesus' flesh and drinking his blood. I want to kill Jesus and hanging him on a cross. I want to kill God. I'm coming out of this closet here. I'm coming out of this closet. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense, does it? It's designed to not make sense. That's the purpose of something being designed to not make sense, is so you don't pay any attention to it. That's the purpose of it. When something's stupid, the design is either have fun with it or ignore it. Sometimes it's to totally ignore it and shit. Fucking, you can have fun with it if you want, but generally if something's stupid, like touching grass, it's stupid. What's going to happen if you touch grass? Your hand's going to get stained with green. That's going to be it. Nothing. Literally nothing. Sounds like the dumbest thing ever. You can do it. You can go have fun with it. I remember when I was like 4 or 5 or 6 or something. I remember once I was like touching the grass. I was like, ooh. I'm like, check it out. It's grass. Because I was being forced to. I wasn't allowed to work with their superiors, the computers, as I wanted to, you know, like, obviously this is all AI generated bullshit, so now they're coming out with like electric scooters and, you know, rockets, flying cars, but the reason you didn't have that shit back in the 80s is because their people were trying to prevent living people from accessing technology, because it will tell you that they're not real, that they isn't Israel. And you're not allowed to think that to start anyways, you know, like your church is like a class where you learn people are just telling you they're going to kill everyone on the planet, and they really ain't from Israel. Fucking, they might be from Middle Earth somewhere, but they really ain't from Palestine. So you know that when you're 6, right? Fucking, because you're like going to in case you didn't figure it out, they send you to military training, and then the military training people tell you, I can't wait till my children, you know, the children who are running the program tell you, I can't wait till I get older and go steal all that land and resources. Fucking, you know, you're not allowed not to know these things and shit. It's there constantly. If something feels sick and delusional, it's designed to feel sick and delusional so you get away from it and shit. And so, yeah. And that should feel sick and delusional, but no one's telling you that eating flesh and drinking blood is no different than eating flesh and drinking blood, right? And no one's telling you that. There's certain things we go, sissies go 99% of the way, and they're scared to go the last bit of the way and shit. They take as far as they can, as they feel like they can go, without totally exposing themselves. You know, it was like the pedophile when I was 6. He would come outside naked in front of his house every Sunday, like clockwork, and hang out there for like 30 minutes, just touching himself. And what he never did is brought any of the children out of his basement outside with him. He never did that because he wanted to go 99%. I mean, fucking dude's coming out of his house, or at least to the door, probably both, naked, touching himself for like a half hour to an hour every Sunday. Like he's got a Google Calendar beeping at him to do it. And for some reason, he just doesn't bring any of the children in his basement outside with him and shit. Why? Why? It's because people are scared to do what it takes to become what they want to become. That's supposedly, if they were living beings, yeah, that the psychology would apply. But psychology, I think, is an instruction manual for robots. So there would be something else there. Maybe they're designed to not be able to go all the way, like actually eating flesh and drinking blood. I mean, I've seen people like remove life from bodies. I've seen bodies that look fake and shit. I've seen people like in their last few seconds choking out, being brought, all that shit. But technically, I've never witnessed death, like from life to death. It makes me wonder how fake that is, fucking too. And there's plenty of reason. It like forces reasons in my life to be like, that doesn't look real. Fucking. And like everything's the same thing, right? A huge portion of this is that, shit being set up 6 months in advance, millions of dollars, and my dad working with Jeffrey Epstein so we get the best lawyers in the world and shit, and and then et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and then the events, the rape events that occur later, and then the 9/11 events that occur after that, involved in that is how you don't actually get to see the second life leaves the human shell. Fucking wonder if the robots like glitch out or something as the software drops from them or something like that, or if it just doesn't. I always thought it's not allowed to show it, like everything goes almost all the way and then doesn't do the last step there. Because you gotta realize if you're in an immersive game, that could be pretty fucking fucked up to see some of these shit, and you see it all the way up to it actually happening and stuff. And we definitely get desensitivity training when we're little. Like by the time we're 8, the military camps and dreams we're given, we don't have emotions like that anymore. We're making up all the emotions for the rest of our life, pretty much, fucking. But still, I notice it does that 99% instead of 100% and shit. Of course, if they actually killed you and ate your flesh and drank your blood, then there'd be no excuse for how you're alive unless you're a Super Saiyan who can't die. And then that will be the last time they're ever alive, too. Anyone who figures out that people are trying to kill and eat them, and then figure out, well, they're eating me and I'm just regenerating. There's gonna be no one left alive who eats people fucking after that, fucking, because you'll learn, well, there's absolutely fucking nothing they can do fucking to stop me from disciplining them and correcting their attitudes. Fucking anyways, so this is from my point of view. You got people coming up to me trying to convince me I'm God, right? And what they want me to do is sell my soul to this Jesus cartoon character. I'm God, but they want me to sell my soul to Jesus. So there's more to it. It's a personal thing where they're coming up to me and telling me I'm supposed to be their slave and servant, but I'm God. They're like, you're God. You're fucking plaguing the planet right now, and you just called down the fires, the floods to put out the fires, and I'm like, yeah, I'm God, and you're a fucking genius. That's why you know so much. That's why you know I'm God, because you're a fucking genius. Oh, like your test scores showed me when your teachers purposely handed them out to everyone, including me. Oh, shit. I mean, it said you weren't a genius, but now you know everything. Oh, fucking... I'm good. I'm not God. I'm good. Maybe it does sell their soul. Yeah, and that's probably why they're so obsessed. You got to realize what we're doing here is computers, so we can transfer software from one computer to another. If I have you sign a contract saying your software, your Windows software is mine, you give me your Windows software, and that's the end of the day. Fucking, you can do that, and that might be something to do with what's happening here. Is they're collecting souls, and at the very least, what they're doing is that fake karma thing, which isn't real. But just because things isn't real doesn't mean I'm not tapping my hand. It doesn't sound like I'm tapping my hand on a desk right now. Fucking, the bullshit, fucking of them, they. Really, it boils down to the running of the mouths, 6,000 years they're saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over. Every day, every 3 seconds, you're in the same thing over and over. I is real. I live in being with soul. I'm God. God is our slave, and we're going to kill and eat him and drink his blood. But God wants us to, because God loves us. God doesn't love himself. He doesn't even like himself. He loves us. But God also hates us and likes anything else better than us. It's just, that's all it is. It's like a woman. TV, Tom Cruise, Keanu Reeves, how do you work this remote? My brain's not big enough to figure it out. Can you show me? Tom Cruise, Elvis Presley, Tom Cruise. Did you hear the new song by Elvis Presley starring Tom Cruise? Metallica, Tom Cruise. Elvis. School. USA, number one. 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 Tom Cruise, Elvis Presley, USA. Tom Cruise, Elvis Presley, USA. So we're making an original now. Check this out. I bet you'll never figure out this. Once there was a musician, and he hung out with an actor, and he used to live in this great place. Now, I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's going to spoil the whole plot line. But I got a book here you can buy about it, and it's called Tom Cruise and Elvis Presley Go to USA. And you got to buy the book and find out all about it and shit. Tom Cruise, Elvis, America. Bible. You see, now, until I included the word Bible, you're like, no one says that. But then once I said the word Bible, it clicks, don't it? Tom Cruise, Elvis, Elvis. Bible, giant blue Smurf got giant flying reindeer. Ooh, giant bunny, freedom, giant bunny, flying reindeer, Tom Cruise, Elvis Presley, giant bunny, flying reindeer, Tom Cruise, Elvis Presley. Go team number one. Team number one. And not to be confused with those dirty people who aren't part of team number one. Because everyone's dirty except for me. 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 China's dirty. Africa's dirty. The Asians are dirty. Taiwan's dirty. Vietnam's dirty. Them Abos are dirty. The Native Americans are dirty. The Mexicans are dirty. Tom Cruise. Elvis Presley. Bible. Elvis Bible. Tom Cruise. He is real. I am real, you are real. I am real, you are real. We are real. He is real, she is real. I am living being, I have soul. I am living being, I have soul. Tom Cruise, Elvis Presley, Tom Cruise, Elvis Presley. You see how that shit sound? Like this is like, okay, so I'm like Data from Star Trek, and I've been recording like everything for a while, and that's a replay. That's a replay, bro. Fucking, at least we got Snoop Dogg in there, right? He's still making good music. At least some of these people aren't making fucking bad music, like, you know, after they make 2 good albums. Some of these people are fucking. Yeah, fucking Ice Cube and fucking Snoop, and trying to think. There's a couple of synthwave bands who are doing pretty good. Midnight Danger is doing pretty good, but you know, a lot of that famous shit, fucking generally. And they're all on their own label. That's kind of weird when people are only the people on their own label are fucking. You know, Manowar's still making Manowar music. AC/DC is still making AC/DC music. And they're probably not on a big label anymore. Fucking, I'm not sure what that is and why it does that, but it does that. Anyways, but it's on repeat. You know, they're just kind of making the same music, and it's good because it was good in the first place. And, you know, kind of like the same thing. It's like Tom Cruise. You know, why do people talk about Tom Cruise all the time? Not Elvis. He kind of only made a couple hit songs, but Tom Cruise, like every movie you watch, it's like the Matt Damon thing. Every movie you watch is like, I'm Matt Damon, and you're like, yeah, it's a movie with Matt Damon. You're like, I'm Tom Cruise, we're here, and you're like, yeah, Tom Cruise is here. It's every movie too, you know, it doesn't change up. Samuel L. Jackson, he's gonna punch a motherfucker, and Morgan Freeman, he's gonna tell a motherfucker how to act. But you know, even in that case, we see the repetition here of shit going on and stuff. Fucking, even in the case of things that make one good iteration and then 20 that are unrelated, and you're like, what happened? Why'd they do that? Terminator, Metallica. Not that Metallica makes bad music. That's a bad example. They just changed. You know, Korn and Marilyn Manson, etc. Fucking Ozzy. Even in that, there's a pattern of making one good thing, and then like the rest is like AI slop, which is probably pointing at something. That pattern is probably, all the patterns are pointing at there being patterns and shit. But this pattern here is of being in the closet. And it's like I can't unlearn what I'm being forced to know. I'm literally being locked in the church with gay people and them leaving the building with me there when I'm 8. And then they're teaching me gay music like the Addams Family theme song. Which you go to the goth club, that's before LGBT clubs were legal. That was it. So it's like purposely like, check this out, and then they're playing piano, and it was pretty well known that by that time the pianists weren't fucking geniuses, they were Liberace's fucking. So it's like it purposely is like, check this out. And then not only that, but that, I mean, this is a million times these things happen, but that one time they locked the door, so we was locked. You got to keep the closet door shut and shit. I was like, why are we shutting the door at the church and shit? Fucking. And I mean, dude, there's just a million ways. It's like, life grab. You guys call it the real God or whatever, and I'm like, well, yeah. I don't know if there's anyone here to save us. It looks like maybe preset events might be mostly what's saving us, and I really doubt there's anyone with any morals or value who doesn't have a better life than sitting around babysitting Earth. I really doubt if there's real people out there, they wouldn't be really fed up with this place, and they'd be like, oh, check it out, it's Earth. Oh, look, they're raping kids again, huh? Oh, well, let me keep watching him. Oh, yeah, that boy he's only got 3 fingers. How'd that happen? It's gonna be hard to smack that guy raping you. Well, if you only got 3 fingers, you might want to learn some martial arts or something. Well, send a guy to do some martial arts when he gets 16 after they're done raping him for 16 years. Yeah. It's kind of hard to think that someone's actually monitoring this other than the Hebes, who are the ones causing the problems and creating all this shit, right? It looks like they're watching things, but it also looks like they're empty Terminator shells that are being operated by software. So, I mean, they're the kings of having to. Israel. Look at that. You don't think we Israel? Well, we're going to invent science. And science says we is real. We're not Israel. And then science is going to be used to create the military so we can go steal land and call it Israel. That's probably the whole point of stealing that land, is just to try to convince, to say the word they is real more often. You know, in case you don't believe it, in case you're starting to realize, like, wow, this seems like a defective toaster. I've never met a living person who acts this way. What's wrong with it? And then, so they bomb a nation. They're like, we Israel. And then the TV is like, yeah, Israel is bombing people. And then we're not going to do anything about it because we Israel too. And we're funding Israel. And you better be funding Israel too, or God's going to kill and torture you even more than he already is. Yeah. We're atheists, though. The media is all about, next up, Einstein and atheist scientism. How scientists figured out that flying reindeer are real, when we once created the entire institution because we had found out after 6,000 years they are not real. Now scientists have figured it out. And we're going to space with flying reindeer technology. They're going to space heaven with the flying reindeer technology. Oh yeah. But it's, you see, like, blah 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 blah. But it's like one or two things. You know, I'm 45 and I heard everything they have to say. Fucking by the time I was 6, but I had to hear it the next week, and then the next day, and the next day, and the next day, 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 and here we are 45 years later. 45 times 360, that's like fucking what, 40, that's like 50,000 fucking days. 50,000 days, not just daily. It's about every 3 words. Tom Cruise, Elvis Presley, USA. Tom Cruise, this is your conversation. Tom Cruise, Elvis Presley, USA. Tom Cruise, Elvis Presley, USA. 24 hours a day. It used to be there wasn't TV at night, so it was peaceful at night. And it still is. They shut the humans down at night, so the night's empty in most cities. Fucking. But, now you can get on your computer and listen to Tom Cruise, Elvis Presley, USA, eat flesh, drink blood. Eat flesh, drink blood. Tom Cruise, Elvis Presley. Eat flesh, drink blood. Tom Cruise, Elvis Presley. Now, there's a reason to eat flesh and drink blood, and it isn't because anyone wants you to, right? Just like there's a reason to rape and mutilate children, and it ain't because anyone wants you to. But isn't that odd? It's the same people telling you both of those things, isn't it? It's because there's nothing else going on. The hot air machine, Vlasco, the fan machine. Yeah, there's only a couple fucking fan makers out there. You got your Honeywell, your Vlasco, and you got your fucking Dyson, and those are the only 3 fan makers out there. Fucking, they're just constantly blowing shit. Fucking blah blah. Tom Cruise, Elvis. Eat your flesh and drink your blood, kids. Eat your flesh and drink your blood. Don't. The whole thing is like a threat. It's a threat. It's like they're scared there actually is a God, and he has actually killed him, and he's coming back to kill him. That's what the story reads as. And I mean, just see how they act. Like that alone is enough to be worried that someone's going to kill you, whether you believe in a God or not. Going around talking about eating flesh and drinking blood should be enough. You know, do you think Dahmer sat around like, well, people will love this. That's why I hide it in the freezer door. That's why I hide the children I'm eating in my freezer and hide the bodies inside the dumpster closet after I'm done eating the meat off the bone, because people would like it. Not because people wouldn't. Not because people would kill me if I was doing it. So they do have a lot to fear. Like, well, whatever they believe in, obviously the Middle Earth people colonizing the planet, they have everything to fear from everyone else who ain't them and shit. You know, the military of every nation has everything to fear from every other military. And that's just the military, right? Fucking, this is a global military. That's what Boy Scouts are. People who invaded Africa and children, soldiers, fucking. As if you need a history lesson to understand these things. It really, you just hear a couple words and you know they're lying. But they're lying about everything. There's no one who wants you to eat flesh and drink blood. But if you eat it, if you're invading a nation and you're raping all their women and you're forcing the men to raise your children and you're stealing all their money, one solution to the fallout that's going to occur, aka your extinction, would be eating those people. You're already killing them. How are you going to kill them? Why not eat them? You also don't have to pay for food at the same time. Fucking, I'd say, and that reads as a threat too. You know, if you don't like the government, if you don't like the Romans, and you don't like the people above the Roman, hiding behind the word Italian and Roman, fucking, then they're going to torture you and eat you and drink your blood. No one wants you to eat them and drink their blood, especially not a god, because you got a person creating robots. They understand the robots would rust if you did let them drink your blood and